Hello, everyone, and welcome to BSAD 111, Investing in Strengths. This is our first week of our online course, and or first module of our online course. Let's go ahead and get started. We have a team supporting you in the course and want to make ourselves available. Want to give you every opportunity to be successful in the course. My name is Mark Pogue. I'm the Executive Director of the Clifton Strengths Institute. I'm also the instructor for BSAD 111. We have two other folks helping us. One is Samantha Canelli. She's the coordinator for the Clifton Strengths Institute, and as well Ellen Brown, a graduate assistant that we have right now. And we're available. You can contact us at strengths_lab@unl.edu. And as well, you can visit us in the CBA at 201 in the Clifton Strengths Institute. Or if we're in the new building, then we are in the new Clifton Strengths Institute on the main floor of the new College of Business, and would love to have you visit us there as well. To find out more information about your strengths or to answer any questions. Course objectives after successfully completing BSAD 111. One is we're going to help you affirm, develop, and apply the strengths you have towards specific outcomes. And when we say that, what we mean is that you'll be taking a brief assessment. You'll be taking about a 30-minute assessment that's going to identify some of your strengths, not all of them. But it is pretty effective in at least getting us some information that helps you understand how you can develop strengths and how you can leverage those to be successful. So it's a great start. And so we're going to affirm you around some existing talents and behaviors that you have. We're going to help you build some tools that will help you develop those strengths and then apply those strengths towards specific outcomes. I think that's a real key point is that, and when we think about strengths, we're thinking about not just personality, but behaviors that can be leveraged to get things done. So with that in mind, some of the things we want to get done in this course is we want to help you apply strengths towards your academics. We want you to help you think about strengths in terms, your own personal strengths in terms of time management and study habits, for instance. Those two specifically, I think, are ones that really do require a unique approach. Nobody studies the same way. Nobody manages their time in the same way. Now, there's a lot of folks out there that have suggested that this is the way you manage your time, and you use this app on your phone, or you use this planner, or whatever it is. But I believe it requires an individualized approach, and we feel like strengths is a great way to help you figure out those behaviors that are innate to you that you can leverage to better manage your time and to be more effective with your studying. We also want to use strengths to help you understand a little bit more about the major that you've selected, or if you're still in the process, to help you select a major, and to do that based on the uniqueness that you possess, so that the major you choose really fits who you are, and to extend that further into your career and helping you understand how your unique behaviors can be leveraged in a particular way to be successful in the career of your choosing. We also want to help you manage your own personal engagement and well-being, both within the course and at college, but we also want to just use this as an incubator or a time when you can start thinking about what does it feel like when I'm engaged in the work that I do? And then how can I expand that into the work world once I graduate from college and I've got a job? How do I know that I can manage my own engagement and my own personal well-being once I've left college? We also want to help you understand how to set some goals specifically around networking on campus. We know from some of the research that you're going to be looking at from Gallup that students in college that have had a network and a deeper relationship with peers, staff, and faculty are more likely to be engaged and have well-being once they graduate. We also know that engaging in campus activities, being involved on campus, is another way to enhance your academic development, but it also helps prepare you for life after college in a way that maybe academic work doesn't. And so it's a key part of your development here at college, and we want to help you leverage that in the best way possible as well. All right. Wanted to jump in and just at least begin some of the content of the course before you're required to go do some coursework and take StrengthsFinder. So before launching into that, we wanted to talk about, just to have an introduction to strengths, just a brief introduction. And so the way I define strengths in a real simple way is that these are unique behaviors that you use to get things done. And I'll go back, and I think I've even mentioned this before, but I think it's worth repeating, is that StrengthsFinder and this whole course is set up on the idea that you would have the opportunity to not only identify what some of your unique behaviors are, these talents that you possess, things that you can leverage to be great at something, but also help you apply those to get something done, to get work done. And I think that's what differentiates everything that you might have ever done before associated with understanding your personality assessments that you might have taken, or tests, or little quizzes that you've taken on the internet. This is more specific not only about just identifying behaviors, but also understanding those behaviors to the depth that you can apply them to get work done. What are strengths? Well, they are things that describe us. They give us a language. So now we have these words that describe what our particular strengths are. They influence our choices. They help us understand better why we make the choices that we do. They direct our actions. Sometimes we find ourselves in the middle of doing something and we don't even know how that happened, and most likely it was because of the influence of our strengths. They just draw us towards doing certain things. Maybe most importantly, they explain why we are better at some things than others. And I think this is one of the crucial points of this course, is to begin to understand that there are opportunities that you'll have in your life that you can leverage your strengths. And you'll have to make choices. You'll have to make a choice between a good thing and maybe a better thing that allows you to better utilize your strengths and to do something to excellence versus just average or mediocre or even just good. Instead, we're stretching you now to help you understand those places in the world and those things that you can do to excellence. And that's what we want to do. We want to give you the opportunity to be able to identify those opportunities for yourself personally as you move forward in your career here as a student, and then afterwards in the work world. So why strengths? Well, why is this particular approach better than others in terms of identifying those behaviors and allowing you to be excellent at something? Well, one of the things that we know based on the research that we have of people and organizations that utilize strengths to help employees be more successful is that employees and people in the workforce that are utilizing their strengths are faster. They learn their role faster and adapt to change more quickly. And so they're just quicker on the job, figuring out what to do and being able to do it effectively. In addition to that, even though they're doing things quickly, they also can be more precise. Now, that would seem to be counter to how we would expect things to usually work. In fact, usually it's a trade-off. If you're faster, then you lose precision, or vice versa. But what we find in the research that we've done about people working out of their strengths is that they actually can have increases in both speed and precision when they're working out of their strengths. Lastly, they're present. People that are working out of their strengths are there every day. They stay longer, they miss less days, and they build stronger relationships with the people that they work with. The picture that I have to represent that here on the screen is a picture of Memorial Stadium and another sold-out crowd. And our fans, our Husker fans, are there and they're present because they're engaged in what they're doing. And I think that's all a part of engagement. It's that emotional energy that you have to be present, and that's a perfect illustration, or perfect picture of what presence looks like when you have 91,000 fans cheering on the Huskers. But it leads us to a larger topic about engagement here at the bottom of the screen. People operating from their strengths are more emotionally connected to their role and to their leader and to their institution. So what we know is that folks that are engaged in their work are typically ones that are working out of their strengths. It just contributes more so to that emotional engagement, that presence, that commitment that they have to the organization that they're in. So that's why strengths are important. They're not only important to organizations, so that's why a company might choose to have strengths development within their organization, because they know they're going to get more out of their employees. But from your perspective, when you think about it personally and selfishly, you want to develop your own strengths, and you want to know what your strengths are and when your strengths have the best opportunity to be in play, because you'll be in a better position and more likely to be able to locate and to identify roles where you're going to be engaged in the work that you do. And you want that engagement. That engagement is going to lead to higher levels of satisfaction that you have in the work that you do, and you're just going to be a happier person. I'll end with this quote: "You can't be anything you want to be, but you can be a lot more of who you already are." I think this, in a nutshell, encapsulates what strengths are all about. It's not just the idea that we're going to identify some behaviors that we know are consistent with you and just have a little bit more knowledge of self. That's important and that's great. But instead, it gives us the opportunity to identify some things that we know, not just behaviors, but also talents that we have that are unique to who we are, that give us the opportunity to maybe do something better than somebody else and give us that competitive advantage that we need in the workplace to be successful. In addition to that, it gives, and when we think about it in the sense of an organization, and we'll explore this a little bit more in a couple of sessions when we talk specifically about strengths and teams. When we think about strengths, what we're doing is we're giving us an opportunity to see how we fit within an organization and how we can best contribute to the overall success of an organization.